of set-piece goals that got you the result at the weekend. That's been a huge topic of conversation south of the border, especially. How big a part of the week for you is set pieces?
Yeah, it's massive. It really is. I laugh. I watched the game yesterday. Watched Arsenal. We know they're a good side. Everybody knows they're challenging on all fronts, but I think it just shows you the level of importance and what you can achieve at times with that side of it. For me, certainly nothing to be scoffed at. And in a sense, you know, every cause is different. You need to find a way to try and achieve your goal, which for us at this minute is small goals, just to try and win games of football. And we need to do that by hook or by crook. We want to evolve. I keep saying that to you guys every week. We want to become better at everything that we do. But you know, if there's a game where it's a set play goal that comes up trumps for us, I think Airdrie was an example of that. Obviously, Wraith Rovers at the weekend was an example of it. It's still a 2-0 win. It's still 3 points and it's still a clean sheet.
Sean Mackey obviously took a lot of courage from the far side. We haven't seen much of him, so I don't know if that's an unexpected bonus for County fans, the level of his deliveries, because some of them were really, really good.
Yeah, I think the fitter and the stronger that Sean gets, you'll see that in open play as well, which is significant. You know, to be able to have that balance, to be able to have that service into your front players. Again, I'm not trying to impress anybody. We have been working tirelessly, trying to make sure that comes to fruition in open play as well. But yeah, you see that from Jay Henderson, with Brian Duncan, with quality. We've got Sean Mackey, we've got a number of players that have got good set play deliveries. But again, I want to try and replicate that as much as we can in open play, because it just shows, you know, a different string to your bow and different ways that you can hurt and attack the opposition as well. So we kind of knew that was there with Sean, but obviously it now starts to become exposed that he's fit and he's available and he's able to play.
So it was also against a Wraith side who've got, like yourselves, a very good defensive record. They maybe haven't been scoring that many goals, but they haven't given away many goals. So it made all the difference on the day.
Yeah, it did. There was. I don't think Wraith had I don't think they really carved a chance out against us at all. Maybe a really straightforward one for Trevor into his hands, but there was nothing coming the other direction. He had a bit of ball possession, a little bit of territory at times within the game. So again, I think that just signifies that solid defensive unit. And I know I keep alluding to facts and figures, and you guys will know the numbers, but you know, 6 clean sheets in 8. I think that's us now amassed as many points in 7 league games since myself and Stevie have come in as we did in the previous 19 games. You know, so when you look at it, I think we've only conceded 3 goals in those 7 league games. So a record for that point's good. We do want to keep trying to chip away at the number of goals we score, but as I say, we need to be able to do that in several different ways, whether it be attacking wide areas, dead balls, central positions, playing off your strikers. And we obviously had the added bonus of our 2 starting strikers getting on the score sheet, which is great for us.
You get the feeling the players are starting to feel good about themselves again after probably a long period of not feeling good about themselves on a regular basis.
Yeah, I think we need to remember, and we've not done anything, we've not achieved anything, but we do need to remember that we were cut adrift at the foot of the table. 5 points adrift, long time since we won a game of football. You know, every other kind of statistic you want to kind of throw at it. So there's always been an idea in my head that we need to try and find confidence from somewhere. Me sitting in front of you and telling you all the right things is great. You know, me sitting in front of the players and giving speeches and having team meetings and all the rest of it's great. But the only way you build confidence is by what you do on a football pitch, be it training or especially in the game. So that's not me that's building confidence. The players are building confidence from within themselves. They're convincing themselves that, 1, they can compete at this level, and 2, I believe that they can put together a good run of amassing points. I think the form's been pretty decent. I think again it might be the most points amassed in the last 6 games if you want to look at that short term aspect of it. But again, that's them that's doing that. That's not me. That's not Stevie Frail. That's not the coaching staff. We've been really well aided by the backroom team. I said that to you guys at the weekend with the work that they've done. But it's the players that do it. It's always the players that do it. Me standing there trying to take credit for any successes is never going to be a thing. It's in what they do.
Yeah. You've been pretty consistent since you came back. The task is just catch that next team in the league table. I think on tomorrow night you could go above 2 of them. So how much of a boost would that help with the confidence to take that to the next level if you can catch a couple of teams essentially?
hypothetically it sounds great, but we can only feel that way if we put on a performance. If we get to a level which is won us points recently and won us games of football, for us to turn up at East End Park and think that we are just going to go through the motions, we think we're in a good place, that we just need to turn up and we're going to get something out of that game. There's been a lot of blood, sweat and tears for us to try and kind of change momentum, change the tide a little bit. And I say a little bit because I still think there's loads and loads for us to go, but we need to realise what that's been. We've been stung twice. We've lost 2 games at a point we were relatively confident and felt that we were moving in the right direction. So you get nothing for free in this league, and you play against the Dunfermline side that I would imagine will be feeling pretty good about themselves. A Scottish Cup quarter final to look forward to at the weekend. A game against a Premier League side where they'll probably back themselves to be more than competitive in the game. So I think their tails will be up, so we need to ensure that we're aggressive in everything that we do, how we play, how we attack, how we defend, set plays, form against. That's the big word for me. I spoke to the players on Saturday about taking more risk. But with that comes an aggression. I use that word all the time, and we need to be aggressive in everything we do, how we challenge ourselves, how we approach the game when we're going through difficult spells in the game, how do we respond, and I think that this league requires an aggressive edge. I really do. I think that's everything in trying to be successful, and if you don't have that and you're passive, you're going to lose. You're going to lose in this league. So that point that we need to start with, for me, is a really simple one in every approach to a game.
What you have done so far, as you kind of alluded to earlier, is closed up the pack a wee bit. You're not cut adrift anymore. There are teams within catching distance. How important could that be over the last few weeks of the season to have a whole bunch of teams in that battle instead of just 1 or 2 that you're challenging?
Yeah, I think it is important. Again, what you never want to do is find yourself cut adrift again, because that then becomes that one team that you're focusing on. I just think by the nature of this league, when you now start to look at a league table, you're right, Andrew, that everything's now compressed, everything's now put together. But again, that could be even more so if you can get a result on Tuesday. I'm not looking too far ahead, but I'm also aware that any run in this league will change the dynamics of what that table looks like. So that's the task in hand. That's what we want to try and do. We're now unbeaten in 2. If you want to look really simply and really short term, let's go and test ourselves to see if we can make that 3 on Tuesday. As difficult a task as it's going to be, I do feel that once each team is playing against each other, crazy things can start to happen, especially in this championship. We've seen it year after year after year. That teams can lose form, teams can find form at the right time, and with each game, I spoke about it being significant for us. It becomes significant for a lot of teams as well.
Just team news, I suppose, Stuart, if there's anything fresh.
No, we'll just you obviously seen Declan Gallagher coming off, so we'll check on Declan. Hopeful that he's able to put his hand up and pitch himself forward to play. But we're not sure at this point, to tell you the truth. And then everyone else, we've had Alex Yakovitch had trained again yesterday morning with us, so he comes back into the fray. Noah Chilver's another day with full contact. I think tomorrow will be too early for him, but I think they would now start to look at considering him for squads beyond that, providing everything's okay. Still lacks minutes. He's not been able to get a bounce game in there yet. And then on top of that, we've probably just got 2 or 3 or 4 players that have missed a chunk of football, so just checking on their welfare. But apart from Declan, I think everybody else comes through it in good health.
Was it an ankle? Not for Declan.
It was kind of his calf, his Achilles. It was just a kick. It was an impact one, which is good for us. I'm not saying good for us, but in a sense, it wasn't a muscle pull or a tear or anything like that. It's more impact than anything. He was getting a shooting pain kind of going through it when he was running. You could see that he tried to play on as much as he possibly could, but it has settled down over the last couple of days, but we're just not sure at this point whether he'll make it.
Good stuff.
Brilliant, guys. Thank you. Thanks.